Welcome back to Yankee Stadium as the New York Yankees take the field for Game 4 and a ritual performed. Kenny?
Roger Clemens, prior to each start, warms up on the bullpen, and then he'll go over and touch the plaque of Babe Ruth. He has a sense of history about this game, and before every start, as a Yankee and prior to being a Yankee, he would do that and then take the mound here at the stadium. And usually it was lights out type of pitching, but not up and down pitching this year for the Rocket.
Out there were the plaques and the monuments to the great Yankee legends are always on display here in New York. The only ballpark in Major League Baseball that has anything like that. And it is a piece of baseball history in and of itself out there. And one the fans here time to time are given the opportunity to actually go and visit when they open the park up sometimes, and fans can go out and see it themselves. And here he comes. '37-year-old right-hander Roger Clemens looking to wrap up the World Series. Our MasterCard Atlanta Braves lineup. Gerald Williams will lead it off. Brett Boone second. Chipper Jones third. Brian Jordan bats cleanup. Ryan Klesko back in hitting fifth. Lockhart, Keith Lockhart's the DH in this game. Eddie Perez out of Venezuela will be doing the catching. Andrew Jones will be in center field, and Walt Weiss batting ninth.
Here's a look at the Roger Clemens. Now, you should know early where he has his stuff. He's had a tendency to have problems early in the ball game. Let's check out the defense. Ricky Day in left field tonight. Bernie Williams in center. Paul O'Neill in right field. Scott Brosius, Derek Jeter, Chuck Knobloch, Tino Martinez round out the infield. Jorge Posada doing the catching for the Rocket, Roger Clemens. Now, last night it was Chad Curtis in left field, and he did a big-time job for the Yankees. A couple of home runs, including the game winner in the 10th inning, that gave the Yankees a chance for the sweep. There is Curtis. He's on the bench tonight with the right-handed John Smoltz pitching. Ricky Day is in left field.
Tragedy again has struck the New York Yankees, even in this moment of almost supreme joy. Paul O'Neill's dad passed away last night. He had been sick for some time in a hospital here in New York City. Joe Torre, the manager, telling Kenny and I that Paul had made the decision with his family, everybody's here in New York, that he would play in this ball game tonight, and then the arrangements will be made for his dad's funeral tomorrow. But Paul felt it appropriate that he be out there, that that's what his dad would have wanted. So Paul O'Neill plays with a very big extra burden in tonight's game. And we, of course, send out our condolences to Paul and to his family for the loss of his dad.
His dad had been having heart problems for over a long period of time, and finally was taken away by that heart problems. And Paul O'Neill, you certainly can understand that he's got something else on his mind tonight.
But he'll be there with his team as they try and wrap this one up. The man who has not won a World Series game and 2 World Series starts this year in the postseason. He is 1-1 and an ERA that is high at 5.
He beat the Texas Rangers in the division series, but then lost to the Boston Red Sox in the American League Championship Series. As we mentioned before, the only loss the Yankees have had in postseason. Joe Torre was kidding before the game. He says that one shouldn't count because we were facing Pedro Martinez.
He started twice in the '86 World Series, pitching with Boston against the New York Mets, and in those ball games unsuccessful. It's been 12 years between series appearances, the 5th longest streak in history. 12 years between World Series appearances. Dennis Martinez went 15 between appearances with Baltimore in '79 and Cleveland in '95. So the Atlanta Braves try and breathe one more day into their season as Gerald Williams leads it off. Flash bulbs go off, and a strike one on Gerald Williams.
Fans getting that souvenir picture of the what might be the final game of the baseball season in this, well, a baseball season this season, but also this century.
Count on Williams. Strike taken. You hear those chants?
Yeah, one of the traditions here at Yankee Stadium is that the bleacher creatures out in right field will chant the name of a player until he acknowledges them. Then they move on to the next player on the field.
Fans want a strikeout. Slider away, 1-2.
And they go position by position to each player. The player will acknowledge the fans with a tip of the cap or a wave, and then they'll move on to the next player on the field.
1-2 delivery to Williams, inside by Clemens. Jorge Posada behind the plate to stop.
Split finger fastball in the dirt. That pitch is designed to look like a strike. Then it drops out of the zone. The hitters will usually chase it.
A power pitcher nearly all of his career, and still is. Still throws very hard. Here's the 2-2 delivery to Williams. Fouled it straight back on a high fastball.
Yeah, Clemens, you talked about the power. Power and precision. You can hear the fans in the background. That was Bernie Williams' chant as they got to Bernie.
Cooler night than last night. 48 degrees, mostly clear skies. Light breeze blowing. Williams 2 for 13 as the Atlanta bats will try and get going again tonight. And he missed outside with it on a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
One thing that had happened to Clemens this year is the Braves are trying to get on base in the early going like they did last night's ball game. Clemens had more walks per 9 innings than any other year in his career. And when you start walking a lot of people, it gives the opposition chances to score. And although he had a winning record of 14-10, his ERA was 4.60.
And he struck him out on a 3-2 pitch.
Gerald Williams guessing fastball gets it, but this is ball 4. He helps Roger Clemens out. You can see how low that pitch is. Gerald Williams got himself out instead of being patient and drawing a base on balls. He's not what I would call your typical leadoff hitter because he likes to swing the bat. Leadoff hitters are more in the mold of Chuck Knobloch, who are willing to take a walk and get on.
So a big strikeout there. And now Brett Boone goes after one. That also was down and away. Atlanta struck out 23 times in this series and drawn 13 walks. 0-1 delivery to Boone, who had the 3 doubles in the ball game last night and is up his postseason average now significantly. Also pretty good numbers in limited times against Roger Clemens.
Boone actually started out in the Seattle Mariner organization, made it to the major leagues with Seattle, and then moved over to Cincinnati, and now with the Atlanta Braves.
1-ball, 1-strike count. And outside, Clemens will go 2-1 on Boone. Roger Clemens, 3,316 strikeouts in regular season games, 9th all-time. He has 247 career wins in the regular season, is 40th on the all-time list. And as we told you, 5 Cy Young Awards and 1 MVP. Boone, a broken bat ground ball to short. Derek Jeter. Two down.
Jeter smiling across at Tino Martinez. The throw was a little bit high. Tino came up off a bag a little bit and came back down on it before Boone got to it. Now watch the ground ball. Maybe a broken bat grounded to short. Jeter on the charge, but the throw is up a little. And watch Tino Martinez go up and then back down on the bag before Brett Boone gets there for the out. So Derek Jeter picked up by his good friend Tino Martinez for the out.
Good first baseman makes a huge difference to the infield. Chipper Jones. 2 down, bases empty. 268 postseason numbers with 1 home run. He is 3 for 9 here in the World Series for the Atlanta third baseman. Clemens with a 1-0 pitch to him. Inside corner strike. And never going to let up on Larry Chipper Jones. 11-game World Series hitting streak. 11 for 38. And that one's in the dirt to him. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Now, with the way the Braves have been swinging the bat, kind of coming out of it yesterday, but Chipper Jones is the catalyst for their offense. Boone and and Gerald Williams have to get on for the Braves to make something. They did last night.
Kenny, we were looking at their numbers. I mean, they are pretty pathetic. 212 for Atlanta, their batting average in this series. 276 for the Yankees. All of the numbers are negative. They've been out homered 4-1. They've been outscored 17-8. Stolen bases. They've had 1. Yankees have had 3. Up and down the line. Towards short. Jeter was moved over to second base. And Clemens retires the side in order. So the Rocket gets one done. Now the winningest postseason pitcher, John Smoltz, coming up. This presentation of the 1999 World Series is being brought to you by MasterCard. And we welcome all of you around the world. We'll get to some of your email tonight here at Yankee Stadium in this Game 4, which features Monument Park that we showed you before, with Gehrig and Ruth recognized along with Miller Huggins, the great manager. The monuments you see there. There is Babe Ruth on the right, and all those plaques behind it. And John Smoltz right now up in front of it for the Atlanta Braves, asked to win one. Chuck Knobloch will be leading it off.
The Braves have made some great acquisitions in their past, and John Smoltz has to be right up there with them. They got him in a trade with the Detroit Tigers. On August 12th of 1987, they sent Doyle Alexander to Detroit, a veteran pitcher, for an unknown John Smoltz.
Not unknown anymore, as John Smoltz, at the age of 32, Cy Young Award winner in '96, 5th best ERA this past year. Knobloch fouls the pitch back into the screen, and an 0-2 count. Wins, 3 losses in the postseason. He is 2-1 in 7 previous World Series starts. And the Yankees would like nothing more than to tattoo him early. And swinging Knobloch, and Smoltz will get the strikeout, 1 down. Let's take a look at our MasterCard Yankees lineup following Knobloch. Jeter, O'Neill, Williams in the cleanup hole. Tino Martinez, Darryl Strawberry is the designated hitter. Jorge Posada doing the catching. Ricky Leday will hit 8th, and Scott Brocious 9th.
Defense for the Atlanta Braves behind John Smoltz tonight. In the outfield, Gerald Williams, Andrew Jones, Brian Jordan. In the infield, Chipper Jones, Walt White, Brett Boone, Ryan Klesko. At first, Eddie Perez doing the catching for John Smoltz. There's Ryan Klesko, takes over at first base, the left-handed hitting platoon with Brian Hunter.
Derek Jeter up, trying to move on with that hitting streak that he now has going in postseason play. The opportunity to reach the all-time mark held by Hank Bauer. 17 consecutive games, the longest postseason batting streak. Bauer, who played with the Yankees, 56, 57, 58. Derek Jeter last night moved into a tie with Pat Borders for second on this list. And obviously, if he can pick one up here tonight, he will move into a tie with former Yankee Hank Bauer. 16 consecutive postseason games he has hit in. Smoltz's pitch to him is a slider away.
John Smoltz has done something I don't think that many pitchers could have done. He had some arm problems twice this year. He's been on the disabled list with elbow problems, and he's changed the way he actually delivers the ball. It has been very effective.
Amazing that a pitcher who used to throw right over the top, not 3/4 on the side, has been able to change the delivery and win games.
Yeah, but his elbow doesn't hurt, so this is why he's throwing this way.
Elbow's been a problem this year for him, that right elbow. Off the end of the bat to first base. Klesko, easy play. And there are 2 down as Jeter's retired. Say hello to the guys at the New York Cafe in Munich, Germany. They wanted to know, why is this called the house that Ruth built?
Well, the ballpark was built with Babe Ruth in mind. Babe Ruth, a powerful left-handed hitter, and you noticed the short porch last night. Yankee Stadium was built back in 1923. Last year was the 75th anniversary. The Yankees actually played across the street at the Polo Grounds and shared it with the Giants, but the Giants became jealous of the Yankees, who became a better ball club and had that attraction in Babe Ruth. They built Yankee Stadium, and on the opening day of Yankee Stadium back in 1923, they had about 74,000 people in here to see the game.
So there you go, Matt.
And they call it the House that Ruth built because he hit a lot of home runs in this place. You know, Gary, this is an interesting World Series. The first time ever, at least the first 4 games, that every pitcher, they've had at least one Cy Young Award winner between the starting 2 pitchers. Greg Maddux in Game 1 has won 4 Cy Young Awards. David Cohn of the Yankees in Game 2. Last night, Tom Glavine, and tonight we have 2 on the mound, and John Smoltz and Roger Clemens. Great pitchers.
1-1 count. And Paul O'Neill takes the pitch inside. 2-ball, 1 strike count. Are we supposed to say the house that Ruth built in German? Is that what? There was part of the question on the email was whether or not there was some German origin to the title of the house that Ruth built. I guess the fact that Babe Ruth had some German ancestry in him is maybe the reason why that was asked. They're asking me to speak a little German, and God, I wish I could. A 3-ball, 1 strike count.
Dr. Lieber.
Dr. Lieber's right. Don't want to alienate a whole country. And foul off. 3-2. Because we may want to go there. I mean, we're lining up these buildings that we're going to be visiting. The New York Cafe in Munich now has joined our list, where we've been promised adult beverages. We have to go to Thailand to see the group at the Hare House.
A couple of years ago, New Zealand, that we were invited to New Zealand.
So we got a lot of adult beverage drinking to do. 3-2, and O'Neill is on. A walk from John Smoltz with 2 down. Paul O'Neill on at first base.
Well, the year that John Smoltz won the Cy Young Award, he was an overwhelming choice. He went 24-8 with an excellent earned run average of 2.94 and had 276 strikeouts, a career high.
Bernie Williams, cleanup batter. Throw over to get O'Neill back as Ryan Klesko will hold the bag on him. Yankees try and mount a rally here with 2 down.
One thing you find from Cy Young type pitchers, they are the better pitchers in the game, is that their team usually scores first. They do whatever it takes, including throwing zeros up, matching zeros with the opposing pitcher, until their team scores.
Tommy Glavine gave his team the chance last night, then just could not hang on at the end. Smoltz, 11-8 during the year, will try and do it again here. And his fastball, he wanted a call on that and didn't get it. Smoltz thought that one should have been a strike, and it's a 2-0 count on Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams walked 100 times this year. First time in his career he has done that. But he also had 200 hits to go with it. So Bernie has great strike zone knowledge. Watch the glove of Eddie Perez. He has to reach down for the ball. And usually that will tell an umpire that that is a ball. When the catcher has to reach so far to get it, it's not within the strike zone.
Darrell Cousins is the umpire working the plate in tonight's game. He has the option. Well, we'll take a look at Darrell Cousins again later as far as what he's wearing tonight. Williams with a 2-0 count. The home plate umpire can either wear that short sleeve red shirt or a short sleeve blue shirt, or what the other umpires are wearing. He can be different than the others. The base umpires cannot wear something different. They all have to be alike. The home plate umpire, though, can choose to be different. Fouled off. And a lot of managers have said a lot of home plate umpires have chosen to be different, but they weren't talking about their clothing.
And what they're talking about is the strike zones and the variety of strike zones that you get from night to night.
Cousins, Jerry Davis, Jim Joyce, Randy Marsh, Rocky Rowe, and Steve Ripley. The umpires, Darryl Cousins from the American League. It's 48 degrees tonight, so Darryl Cousins is being different. They're being warm. Gloves, turtleneck, coats, and he's got a short sleeve shirt on.
Well, Darryl Cousins is a 21-year veteran. I'm sure he's worked some cold weather ball games.
Bernie Williams waiting, and a ground to second base. Brett Boone up with it over to Ryan Klesko, and that'll retire the side. So no runs, no hits, a base runner left on. We've completed one. Game 4 of the '99 World Series, and it's scoreless. The World Series memory that also involved Roger Clemens, the man who's starting for the New York Yankees tonight. It was against the New York Mets, and he was pitching for Boston. 1986, Game 6. And the New York Mets rallied. An incredible comeback. Strawberry is now playing for the Yankees, scoring right there. Roger Clemens came out, 2 runs, 4 hits over 7. And now he's working tonight trying to get a win when he did not get an 86 in 2 starts. Now blocked the flip. And quickly, 1 out. Brian Jordan retired.
For a power pitcher, Roger Clemens, of course, has picked up a lot of strikeouts in his career. And you think of Roger Clemens as throws that high, hard fastball, but actually he's a ground ball pitcher. When he's on, he gets a lot of ground ball outs. Tonight, he's got 1 strikeout and 3 ground ball outs. And when he's working well, that's the pattern you'll see.
Ryan Klesko stands in. 214, only 1 homer in the postseason, and 1 for 8 here in the World Series. Left-handers against Roger Clemens hit 263. Right-handers 259 during the regular season. Gave up 20 homers, only 6 of those hit by left-handers. 37-year-old delivers and misses down low 2-0.
Well, Roger Clemens came over to the Yankees as was signed, traded for David Wells, Homer Bush, and Graham Lloyd. 3 for 1. The Yankees going for a 5-time Cy Young Award winner. He hasn't lived up to the billing. Sometimes he's pitched well, sometimes he hasn't. Could pitch to the outside corner for a strike, but the reason why he came to the Yankees and wanted to come to a winner so he could get a World Series ring. Well, tonight, if he pitches well enough, he can slip it on his own finger.
He's got destiny in his own hands here tonight for what he wanted. Here's the 2-1. And that one is going to be a base hit by Klesko. So Ryan Klesko, who'd gone 0 for 8 against Roger Clemens prior to that at bat, will pick up the game's first hit. A 1-out single here in the 2nd inning.
Looked like Klesko hit a split finger fastball that kind of stayed up. Yep, it's moving away, but he went out and got it. Broke his bat, will pick up the base hit. Ball will actually sink and move away from it, but he had used those long arms and got the base hit.
Designated hitter rule in effect here in the American League ballpark. So tonight it will be Keith Lockhart, Jose Hernandez. Last night against the left-hander was the Atlanta DH. And Lockhart takes the pitch for a strike. Lockhart, the backup second baseman, has not had a hit yet in this World Series. And not a lot of chances overall in the postseason, as he's made just the 1 start. Runner at first base being held by Martinez. Lockhart, a slow roller. Brocious was in. 2nd for 1. Relay, Knobloch not in time. He had no chance. Knocked down by Martinez. That ball not hit hard enough to turn 2, but they got the lead runner, and they're 2 down.
Once again, Scott Brocious, you'll see some third basemen, as we see the split finger off the end of the bat by Lockhart. Some third basemen, anytime they have to come in, they'll throw to first base instead of going across their body to get the lead runner. As you said, Gary, Knobloch really no chance to get the runner at first. In fact, he'd been better off just to hold on to the ball. Lockhart is safe easily, but now there's 2 down. Another look at it. You see the runner coming in. The runner trying to break up the double play, put some pressure on either the shortstop or second baseman, and make him even throw the ball away from time to time.
Eddie Perez up now. Perez has had an outstanding postseason. Only 1 for 6, though, here in the World Series. Couple of home runs. Clemens with 2 down and a runner on at first base. Chance to get out of it right here. 1-0 missed down low. We had an email. We were talking about the DH, Kenny. Adrian Ash wanted to know. The DH is one difference. Are there any other rule differences between the American and National Leagues?
None that I can think of.
No, I couldn't either.
No.
So Adrian in Australia, the DH is the difference. Joey Davis, the DH for the New York Yankees, not playing tonight. 2-0 delivery, a chopper. Jeter, force at second. A pretty easy inning. Getting a lot of rabbit hops out there on those ground balls on the pitches from Roger Clemens. No score as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Maybe the lights go out in Georgia. Of course, that's where Atlanta is, and they will go out baseball-wise if the Yankees can pick up the victory here tonight at home. New York trying to do it for the 9th time at Yankee Stadium. Wrap up a World Series. Left field 97 meters. Left center 122. 124 to center. 117 to right center and 96 down that right field line.
Bobby Cox concerned with the right field line last night. You can see it only 314 feet. He mentioned it. Nowhere else in baseball with that ball that Chuck Knobloch hit would have been a home run. He's right about that. But there are some other parks that have some short dimensions. I can think of one up in Boston at Fenway Park that, man, you could reach out and touch it when you're in the batter's box.
A lot of guys have tried to do that, and it's ruined their whole offensive career. Tino Martinez leading it off. No score in bottom half of the second inning. Martinez, Strawberry, and Jorge Posada against John Smoltz. See Smoltz blowing in his hand there? It has gotten progressively cooler tonight in just the first 2 innings. We started at 48 degrees. There is a very cool wind that has picked up here in New York. Popped up. Kenny, you're familiar with this ballpark. If you look at the flags, the wind seems to be blowing towards right field.
That is very, very true. But there's a indicator on the top of the American flag. You see that bat, that baseball bat, the actual knob on the end, not the barrel. That's really the way the wind is blowing. It kind of sweeps around in the direction of the stadium and blows out towards left field tonight. So maybe a ball hit that way will get a boost.
The flags are deceiving. And a 3-ball 1-strike count on Tino Martinez. John Smoltz does not walk many. 1.9 per 9 innings, 5th best. What a sight that is.
Looks like a Halloween shot, doesn't it?
Wow. Trick or treat. And that is a walk. Smoltz has already walked 2. And not happy with the calls by the home plate umpire. Bobby Cox and Smoltz staring at him. Lead-off walk by Smoltz. Now the designated hitter tonight, working his way back with the Yankees this season. Former Met, who we showed you playing on the other side of New York in '86, Darryl Strawberry. And he still has power. And he rockets that one down the line in left field for a base hit. Gerald Williams will hold the runner at second base, and Strawberry's got the Yankee single.
Well, Darryl going the opposite way with a pitch from John Smoltz out over the plate. The Braves defensively shifted all around to the right, so Darryl going against the traffic, so to speak, as he hits the ball the other way for the base hit. That is Walt Weiss, the shortstop, on the other side, right field side of second base. Only Chipper Jones is on the left-hand side of second, and Darryl crosses everybody up and hits the ball the other way for a base hit. If Darryl lays down a bunt, he might have had a homer. But
nobody there.
Nobody there. The last line of defense was Gerald Williams, and he comes up with the base hit.
So 2 on. The first hit for the Yankees. And Jorge Posada with nobody out. Fouls it back. Atlanta thought he might be bunting. Chipper Jones had moved in at third base. Posada working behind the plate tonight, getting a World Series opportunity. And you see Jones still in at third, and at first Klesko's in front of the base runner.
Majority of the second half of the season, Roger Clemens was caught by Joe Girardi. But Clemens actually has a better record on the mound with Posada catching. And Jorge went into Joe Torre last night along with Joe Girardi and expressed the feeling that he would want to catch this game. Well, Girardi's caught the last two, and not that many managers would say, okay, I'll let you catch, but you know, if the Yankees win tonight, it'll be 2 starts apiece.
Share in the joy. 1-1. And Posada pops that one up towards the seats. That'll be a foul ball. 1-2. Jorge Posada, switch hitter. 303 right-handed and 225 left-handed during the regular season, but 8 of his 12 home runs were hit from this side of the plate. This is the Yankees' future behind the plate.
Very strong arm. He's going to work on his receiving or actual catching abilities during the winter in his native Puerto Rico. And Jorge, the reason why his average is so low left-handed, he started 0 for 24 from the left-hand side of the plate this year, and that'll certainly put a dent in anybody's average.
1-2 delivery by Smoltz, and he got him. Posada knew it. Looked like a changeup that time, delivered by John Smoltz. He gets the strikeout. That'll be his second.
Eddie Perez talking it over with Smoltz. Watch the late movement on this pitch. You see the spin on it? Kind of moves back over the plate. Posada gives up thinking it's going to be inside, but the tailing action has it catch well almost the middle, and he's called out on strikes.
John Smoltz, a numerous assortment of pitches with a fastball, a cut fastball, a changeup, slider. He'll even mix in a knuckler if he's ahead in the game 2 or 3 times.
One pitch he is kind of shelved. He used to throw the split finger fastball more when he was overhand, but down you can't throw that pitch quite as effectively when you drop down 3/4 or sidearm.
That hurts your elbow.
Yes, it does.
Ricky Leday, runners at first and second, and inside for a ball.
In fact, the Rocket, Roger Clemens, will use that pitch, but he says he doesn't like to overuse it because of the fact it can hurt your elbow. He says that he won't throw more than 20 of those split finger fastballs a game.
Leday with the RBI chance, takes the pitch, and it missed, and Smoltz is really upset. Smoltz can't believe these calls. He thinks they should be strikes, and kind of put his head up after that last pitch, saying, like, what?
You see him as, oh man, what's going on here? Well, Darryl Cousins is American League umpire. There is not as much difference in the calling between the leagues as there used to be.
3-0.
That was outside, so not much of an argument from Smoltz.
Two on, 1 down, no score. Leo Mazzoni, he won't take his hat off very often. That's a sign of disgust from Mazzoni. Taken all the way for a strike on the inside corner.
Decision for Joe Torre as Bobby Cox looks on. Ahead on the count, 3-1. Would you send the runners to try and stay out of a double play? I don't think so with Tino Martinez, the lead runner.
3-1, they do not go, and it's fouled back, and Smoltz comes right back to get the count full, 3-2.
Again, the same decision on 3 balls and 2 strikes. Because if Leday hits the ball on the ground and the runners are not going, a very good chance the Braves will turn a double play. One reason why Joe might not send them is because Leday runs well and might be able to beat any relay from second.
Martinez at second, Strawberry at first. Leday stays alive by fouling the pitch off.
And another reason why Torre probably did not send the runners 3-2 with 1 out, because Leday has a high strikeout total during the course of the season.
He hit into just 2 ground ball double plays and 250 at bats, but as Kenny said, he struck out 73 times and drew only 28 walks. And he's gone. Come back by Smoltz, who'd fallen behind 3-0. Now it's Leday who's unhappy. 3 strikeouts for Smoltz.
Almost exactly the same pitch that struck out Posada, the hitter before. The target is away, and Smoltz kind of missed it, but it was good enough to be called a strike by Darryl Cousins. The target is away, but the pitch actually catches the inside corner. Darryl Cousins sees that. Sometimes when a catcher has to make so much movement with the glove, you will not get a strike call. But in this instance, Smoltz gets one.
Now there are 2 down, still 2 on. Good breaking ball down and away that time, and Scott Brocious hitting 9th. Behind on the count, 0-1. Another fine postseason, even better World Series, 5 for 13 for Brocious so far in this year's World Series. Smoltz trying to work his way out after the first two Yankees got on this inning.
It appeared to be a promising inning until the 2 strikeouts, and strikeouts have a way of calming down any uprising.
Martinez off second base. Strawberry at first. 1-1 delivered to Brocious. Slider that went way outside. 2-1.
Last year, Scott Brocious had a tremendous season, capped off with the World Series MVP. But these were situations where he was golden time and time again. When you have a hitter who batted in the 7th, 8th, and 9th spot and drove in 98 runs, that is a guy who has some production.
Kenny, his numbers now for Brocious in World Series: 13 for 30. That's a .433 career World Series batting average. But he's not going to up it on that one.
High fastball blown right on by him by John Smoltz.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Right-hander. Didn't get him to chase that one, and it's a full count. So 3-2. The runners will be going. An advantage for the Yankees here. With the runners moving, if Brocious can deliver, he'll have Martinez and Strawberry digging it out. Yankee fans up looking for the big hit. 3-2, struck him out. John Smoltz, after walking the leadoff batter and giving up a Strawberry single, comes back and gets 3 called strikes to end the inning. 2 left on by the Yankees. It is still Yankee Stadium in New York, where they're trying to win their 25th World Championship. So far, zip zip. You're still trying to make the major leagues. Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com, the site that gives you video highlights and live game audio. You can play online fantasy video games and purchase the latest clothing at the official store. It's MajorLeagueBaseball.com, and we invite you to email us right here at the game in New York, MajorLeagueBaseball.com. With Ken Singleton, I'm Gary Thorne. Scoreless, each team with 1 hit through the first 2 innings. Roger Clemens wants the signs again from Jorge Posada. Andrew Jones leads it off. Walt Weiss, then top of the order, Gerald Williams. Man who just cannot find the hits right now is their center fielder, Andrew Jones. A dismal postseason average, 196.
And Bobby Cox was telling us before the game that it has been more than just a postseason. He's really struggled for the last few months.
Sweet ground ball to short. Jeter's got to hurry. Got him. See that number 5 on there? We had a question about that from Ben Terry. Ben wanted to know, why are they wearing number 5?
And this is the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio, who set an all-time record of having consecutive game hitting streak of 56 games back in 1941. And his number was retired. Joe D passed away earlier this year. And known as the Yankee Clipper, one of the all-time great outfielders in Major League history.
So Ben Terry from Newcastle, there you go. That's why they are wearing that number 5. 1 down here, and Walt Weiss up. One of the World Championship groups here in New York, 1941.
That was the year that Ted Williams hit over 400. Joe DiMaggio got the MVP.
Good play made by Martinez. Walt Weiss is retired. Clemens quickly with 2 down. He's got 7 ground ball outs already.
And we mentioned when Clemens is working well, that's what you see. A lot of grounders. There's not been a fly ball out. No outfielder has touched the ball for the Yankees tonight. There's a ground ball to first. Tino Martinez, an underrated fielder, although this year I have a feeling he might be in the balloting for his first Gold Glove because of the fact he particularly his throwing. The 3-6-3 double play, it was very difficult to turn for first baseman. Tino Martinez turned more of those than any first baseman in baseball this year.
And they're on 2 down. Base is empty. Leadoff batter Gerald Williams. Williams a strikeout victim, the only one Roger Clemens has picked up in his first time through the order. 1-1 this postseason. Clemens has worked 9 innings in 2 games. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 9 hits coming into tonight's game. Walk and a strikeout here. See that broken bat? Don Baylor, the hitting instructor, looks a little crooked.
Well, winter's coming. You just throw another one on the fire.
good and dry. Here's the 2-0 pitch and a towering fly ball, not deep. And Knobloch will put it away, and there is the pop out and the string of grounders. Took just 7 pitches for Roger Clemens to retire the side in order. He's done that in 2 of the first 3 innings. Yankees have had the best scoring opportunity. Came against Smoltz in the 2nd inning, but couldn't get it done.
It was erased quickly by John Smoltz as he got down to business in the bottom 3rd of the Yankee order. First, Jorge Posada take a call, strike 3. Same for Ricky Day. Ditto. Scott Brocious. John Smoltz was out at the bottom of the 2nd inning, reaching back for a little bit extra.
2 walks, 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. A lot of pitches. No score in the ball game. We go to the top of the order. Chuck Knobloch will be leading it off. Knobloch, Jeter, and O'Neill. Knobloch, one of the strikeout victims for John Smoltz in the ball game. Smoltz has not pitched against the Yankees before. Their first look at John Smoltz at any time. Walt Weiss can't play it. Looked like he was right on the cut of the grass. And the ball did not come up in his glove.
Be interesting to see how they score because Knobloch has good speed. Walt Weiss has to go to his right. Watch him come here. Well, doesn't seem to take any erratic hops. He should have had that one. As far as gloving it now, throwing out Chuck Knobloch might have been a different story. That's what's taking so while to score the play. Off the glove, and the creature, that as his glove is known, gave one back. Look at that thing. Wow.
That is one ugly glove.
That might be the glove of the century.
3 official scores make the decisions, and they've decided it's a hit. So there's the 2nd hit, a leadoff single on Smoltz here in the 3rd inning. And Derek Jeter, grounded out his first time up, is at the plate. Jeter has hit successfully 16 consecutive postseason, and we'll try and get a rally going here. Good World Series numbers for Jeter.
Well, these 2 are the table setters, Knobloch and Jeter. But Jeter's more than a table setter. He can drive in runs. 102 runs batted in this year.
And he's got a base hit going the other way into right field. Knobloch will head to 3rd. Jordan up with it. Yankees cover the corners with nobody out.
John Smoltz keeping the ball away from Derek Jeter. Jeter very proficient at hitting the ball to the opposite field. Over the outside corner, the hole is open because Knobloch's being held on by Ryan Klesko. This ball will go right through the hole and in the right field for the base hit. Knobloch, of course, recognizing right away he can make 3rd base. And the Yankees are in business here in the bottom of the 3rd against John Smoltz. The table setters are on.
So Jeter's done it. He has tied Hank Bauer 17 consecutive postseason games in which he has picked up a hit, tying the all-time mark of the former Yankee. Now Paul O'Neill. Ball 1. And you know, Kenny, in these at-bats, Paul O'Neill, this is for my father. Passed away last night. Knobloch on at 3rd base. Jeter back to the bag at 1st.
Might notice that wrap that Jeter has on his right hand. Every time he reaches base, he wraps that around his wrist to it actually protects it when he slides. If he has to slide head first, a little more wrapping for that right wrist. He doesn't wear it when he's hitting, only when he gets on base.
1-0 delivery, and O'Neill will take it down low, 2-0.
Smoltz is keeping the ball down, trying to get a grounder, maybe get a double play in which the Yankees would score. Knobloch would score, but it would also help out Smoltz by getting 2 outs on 1 ground ball.
O'Neill has faced Smoltz a lot because the 2 of them played in the National League at the same time when O'Neill was in Cincinnati. John Smoltz has had good success against him, as you saw. But a 2-0 count here, and again Jeter back to the bag. But
right now O'Neill is looking at a slightly different Smoltz. So the way he delivers the ball might be the more to Paul O'Neill's liking, because he can see the ball better from a three-quarter delivery as a left-handed hitter. Over the top, it's a little bit more difficult to pick up.
Left-handers hit Smoltz a little harder, 264. Right-handers just 229. 2-0, big cut. Too far away to pull low, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
We were talking about the delivery. Now watch John Smoltz. Even from the stretch, he delivers kind of a three-quarter delivery, but it also has that movement away from the left-handed hitter. Ball just kind of sails as it gets towards home plate.
Yankee fans ready to erupt. 2-1 delivery. And ball 3. 3-1. John Smoltz. Little sarcastic smile there.
You might hear some things about the umpires if the Braves don't win this game.
Perez taking a long time to get the mask on. They are not happy about the strike zone.
Situation where Jeter might be running.
3-1 count. Fastball away. Jeter goes. Fouled off. Full count. Knobloch, the lead runner at third base.
Yankees trying to put some offensive pressure on. Even if O'Neill hit the ball on the ground, they won't be able to get to a double play with Jeter moving. And the Braves, if they have a decision to make here, they're going to still keep the infield back, or are they going to bring it halfway? Because if Jeter's going to be moving 3-2, they won't turn a double play. But it looks as though they're going to concede a run and leave the infield back on a ground ball.
3-2 count to Paul O'Neill. Jeter goes, swung on, fouled off again. Paul O'Neill, 5 postseason RBIs. The Yankees have been led this postseason with 8 by Bernie Williams. Joe Torre's club here in the postseason has outscored the opposition 54-30 overall. And as we said here in the World Series, 17-8 over the Braves. He's throwing a lot, Ken.
50 pitches, and we're just in the third inning. And he has yet to retire anybody in this inning.
2 on, nobody out. 3-2. Fake the third, look to first, no throw.
Knobloch and Jeter, you don't score 254 runs between you without knowing how to run the bases. 134 for Jeter and 120 for Chuck Knobloch.
.32-year-old John Smoltz. Biggest jam of the game yet for him. 3-2, Jeter goes. Swung on and missed. Jeter will get a stolen base. That's 5 strikeouts now for Smoltz. Jeter goes down with the stolen base, and 2 are in scoring position with 1 out.
Oh, when Smoltz has had to make a pitch, he has done it. And has gotten himself out of a jam last inning, and a strikeout helps him out here. It looked like a splitter as O'Neill's over the top. Tough pitch for any catcher to throw on. Jeter moves to second on the stolen base. Bernie Williams is at the plate, but he will not get a chance to hit. So with 1 out, they're going to walk him intentionally to load the bases and try and set up a double play.
Tino Martinez, man who's on deck, will get the opportunity here with the bases loaded. So the strategy here by Bobby Cox to set up a force play at any base.
And you hear the crowd here at Yankee Stadium chanting Tino. They know that Tino Martinez is on deck, and they want him to get the job done. If they can remember back to the World Series of last season, Tino came up with the bases loaded and blew away game number 1 with a grand slam. As we were talking about, well, they're asking you shall receive. That's Mark Langston on the mound for the San Diego Padres. That ball is destined for the upper deck, and the Yankees fought all the way back. They had a 7-run 7th inning to take game 1 of the World Series and start the 4-game sweep of San Diego.
Tino Martinez had a grand slam during the regular season. John Smoltz outside, bases loaded, 1 down. No score, 3rd inning.
One thing when you're a hitter in a situation like this, Tino's a veteran. He's telling himself, I'm not the one in trouble here. The pitcher is the one in trouble. Bases loaded and 1 out. He's looking for something that he hit hard, at least drive to the outfield to pick up 1 run.
1-0 delivery inside corner, strike to even it up at 1 apiece.
Once again, that moving fastball by Smoltz over the inside corner to a left-handed hitter. That has been his most effective pitch of the night. The Yankees have several lefties in their order, and you see the movement on the ball. Tino Martinez thinks it's going to be inside. He gives up, but he tails for the corner for a call strike.
Martinez has had 2 home runs in this postseason. Bases loaded and 1 away. Smoltz with a pitch, grounded hard off the glove of Klesko. Boone's got to go get it. 2 runs will score. Knobloch, Jeter, over the third, Williams. 2-0 Yankees.
The table setters got on and they eventually scored. This is going to be called a base hit because it was hit so hard. But remember, we mentioned during the course of the series that whenever the Braves have the lead late in the game, they put Brian Hunter in for defense. I kind of believe that Brian Hunter would have come up with this ball and maybe started an inning-ending double play. Instead, Klesko cannot get it off of his forearm into the outfield for a base hit. Tino Martinez gets a hit and 2 runs batted in because the ball was hit solidly.
5 RBIs in the World Series for Tino Martinez. He now leads the Yankees in World Series RBIs. And Darryl Strawberry's up, and you feel it. Runners at first and third. Yankee fans all standing. Strawberry at the first hit, a single in the second inning. Williams and Martinez on. 1-0 delivery. This down low, 2-0. The general feeling was here at this ballpark before the game started, if the Yankees can get out early and get the lead, the Atlanta Braves will not be a comeback team tonight. They were thrashed too hard last night, and an early lead would do them in. Strawberry takes it 3-0.
Well, Bobby Cox has seen his pitching staff be very careful, and they should be with Darryl Strawberry, a guy who's had 335 career home runs. You remember the walk in game 1 that kind of set up the 8th inning when Darryl was pinch hitting against Greg Maddux.
Green light on a 3-0 count, and he fouled it back 3-1.
Yeah, Joe Torre trying to take advantage of that big bat and letting Darryl Strawberry swing with a count of 3 balls and no strikes.
Terry Mulholland, the left-hander, in the bullpen. Three and 1. Strawberry will foul that back. Here in this series, the 3 winningest postseason pitchers came up against the Yankees in this series. You had Glavine, Maddux, and Smoltz. Glavine did not have a decision. Maddux lost a game. Smoltz is making his first start. And Millwood, the other starter, has taken a loss. So the Yankees have done it against some of the best postseason numbers, pitching-wise, in playoff history. 3-2 count. Strawberry will foul it back again.
When you talk to the Yankees general manager Brian Cashman, he mentioned to me that he felt that the Braves starting pitching and the Yankees starting pitching would be a push. He thought it was even. Even with the great pitching of the Braves in the postseason, he felt, well, he had some great pitchers of his own, and rightly so, with El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, David Cone, Andy Pettitte, and now tonight Roger Clemens. So he felt that that would be even. So you go from there as far as these ball clubs are concerned, and the Yankees have hit better. And they've made better plays in the field.
They've hit a lot better. 3-2, 2 on. Strawberry waiting. Fouls it back again. The Darryl chant on here at Yankee Stadium. Strawberry did not get a lot of games in during the regular season. Only 24 with the Yankees. Did hit .327 in those games with 3 homers. Was a designated hitter in 15 starts.
Wasn't called up until September 1st from the minors.
Strike called in the inside corner. And Smoltz comes up big again. 6 strikeouts for John Smoltz, and they've all come in key situations early in the game.
And remember what we said about that fastball tailing towards the corner. There it is again. Just high enough at the knees for Darryl Cousins to be called a strike. And Darryl Strawberry is out of there.
So 4 of the 6 strikeouts have been called third strikes. Strawberry, the DH. Just go back, hang on to that bat. And Smoltz get out of it here. 2 down. Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams on at third. Martinez at first, 2 down. A 2-0 lead for the Yankees on 4 hits. Off the fists and no play. Jorge Posada from Puerto Rico, a .252 career hitter with the Yankees, but his career has just begun. 98 starts as a catcher this year. Threw out only 21% of base stealers. That's very low. So Kenny was talking about that he'll be working on.
Ooh, look out.
In the kitchen music right there, and a 1-1 count.
Posada turning into some sort of dancer there. You get the feet out of the way. That's one way to make hitters feel uncomfortable at the plate. You know, a lot of talk about throwing near the head. You don't have to do that. Just move their feet around. The hitters don't like that either. They don't like the head. It's even worse up there. That's how you have fights started.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Posada, the switch hitter. Yankees looking for a big 2-out hit to add to that 2-0 lead here in the third. Smoltz inside low. Perez fakes the throw to third. Bernie Williams back. 2-1. Everybody obviously available pitching wise tonight for the Atlanta Braves. Tonight you would believe anybody that looks like they're in trouble pitching wise will come out. Chuck Knobloch's got the hot bottle going there. Keep the hands warm. John Smoltz, 2 ball, 1 strike count. Jammed him. These left-handers are seeing some nasty down and in pitches. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Smoltz already has 70 pitches in 2 2/3 innings. Tom Glavine threw 72 in 6 innings last night. So you can see they're piling up for John Smoltz, getting a lot of strikeouts, but the Yankees are also putting men on base.
2-2 delivery and another 3-2 count. He has really had to work. He averaged just 93 pitches per start during the regular season because of that bad elbow. He's going to get there in a hurry in this game. The 6th 3-2 count for Smoltz. Very high number. And fouled off. Stay at 3-2. Runners at first and third and 2 down.
Gary, it makes you wonder where he would be without the 6 strikeouts in this game.
He struck the side out after the first 2 batters got on in the second. He has added 2 strikeouts here after the first 2 hitters got on. And that one ripped into right field. Big hit, Jorge Posada. Williams scores. Over to third base and stopping Martinez. 3-0 Yankees.
Gary, those are the hits, the 2-out hits that really give a team a boost. When you can score after 2 are down, the pitcher's almost out of trouble. Smoltz finally got one in the middle of the plate, and Posada rips it over the head of Klesko into right field for the base hit, and Yankee Stadium is beginning to rock. Actually, we can feel it up here in the booth. Fans all excited with the base hit that has put down 3 runs on the board, and has Leo Mazzoni coming out to talk to John Smoltz.
3 RBIs in the World Series for Jorge Posada. And Leo Mazzoni has his little chat for Jorge Posada. Beginning of what may be many moments to remember to the fans back home in Puerto Rico. Jorge Posada, for you.
A esas personas en Puerto Rico que nos están mirando, la verdad que le agradecemos que nos sigan todo el año, y un saludo bien grande de aquí de corazón. Jorge Posada los quiere.
Appreciates the support, and the Yankees appreciate what he's doing. 2 down again.
I can bet you that Ricky Day would almost have the same wishes back to Puerto Rico if he's getting a chance here for another 2-out hit.
It's the 8th man up in the inning. Leday, a strikeout victim, his first time up. First and third again. 1-0 delivery, and Leday pops one up. Shortstop Weiss back there and hauls it in. But a big inning. Took 34 pitches for Smoltz to get out of it. The Yankees come up with 3 runs, including that one that was called a single off Klesko. The top of the house that Ruth built. Beautiful night here, and if there's another day to Major League Baseball's '99 season, we'll be back here for Game 5. It would be Maddox against El Duque, Orlando Hernandez tomorrow, 8 Eastern, midnight Greenwich Mean Time. Game 5. For that to happen, the Eagle would have to see the Atlanta Braves win tonight, and right now they are trailing 3-0. 3-5-0 for the Yankees. 1 hit for the Braves.
Yankee fans might be getting a little ahead of themselves that this game is not over yet, but no school Friday. A parade will be downtown here in Manhattan through the wall of Canyon of Heroes, they call it.
Kenny, we were talking about a story tonight before this game. Some Latin American baseball fans protested outside of Yankee Stadium the fact that Roberto Clemente did not make the all-century team, and 21 representatives of the Spanish-speaking media who cover the World Series put together their own Latin American all-century team and voted Roberto Clemente the Latin American player of the century. That will be news that those of you around the world who care about baseball will be reading tomorrow. Unanimous choices: Luis Aparicio at short, Roberto Clemente in the outfield. Brett Boone up. And Clemens down low to him, 1-1.
Yeah, having played for Roberto Clemente in winter ball and just briefly getting a chance to know him for a few-month period, I don't know how you could leave him off an all-century team.
A lot of other people don't either.
Yeah, that's just beyond me.
Swung on and missed. 1-2 strike count on Boone, who grounded out. Clemens no walks, 1 strikeout so far. Chance to win his first World Series game. 37-year-old right-hander. 2 strikeouts.
A little different look for Brett Boone. Our rocket can beat up your rocker. Split trigger fastball, and Clemens has a very good one when it's on. You can see the break on that, just straight down. Brett Boone, no chance. Here's the guy who had 3 doubles last night, 4 hits, including the single. But this was a no-chance pitch.
Buried that one. Chipper Jones up, and a chopper back to him. Kenny, what we may be seeing here is something we talked about before the game. If the Yankees get a lead early, the Atlanta Braves are right on the verge of being ready to go home. Not that they quit, but the inevitable. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit and won a World Series. The Braves know that, and they're about ready to have their season over.
Well, with the Yankees getting a 3-0 lead, Roger Clemens has to pitch like he knows he has a lead, but he has to pitch like it's 1-0 and just go from there. Approach the game from that standpoint.
We may see Atlanta hitters start swinging at more first pitches and be a little more anxious, a little less careful. We'll see. 7 in a row have been retired by the Rocket Roger Clemens. Jordan takes the pitch down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ted Turner. Yep. Will it be another World Series loss?
Well, before the game, he was in the dugout trying to get the attention, get his team all riled up for this game, but well, they only have 1 hit so far off of Roger Clemens.
This series has been built as the series where the winner will be the team of the decade, because the Atlanta Braves in the regular season over the last decade have won 76 more games than the Yankees. But the Yankees in the World Series have put the W's up, fouled off at the plate. New York 2-2 in the 90s in the World Series, while Atlanta's 1-3.
Talk about the split finger. You see the grip of Roger Clemens. What this does, it takes the spin off the ball when he throws it, and it makes it drop abruptly as it reaches home plate. And you can see Brian Jordan hit on the top of it. There's another one. Ooh. It's like down periscope.
It looks like it's going to be a strike, and it looks a lot like a fastball. And then the next thing you know, it isn't either, and you're swinging. Never at a loss for words, New York fans. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordan will back out. 2 down.
Well, if they could make it 25 World Championships, certainly the team of the century. I don't know about the millennium, but the
1-2 delivery. Just missed outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, there's about 56,000 umpires in the stands here tonight. That was one of them that brought to his feet on this pitch that was just outside.
Jordan with a 2-2 will pop it up outside of first, and that'll end up in the seats. Clemens, one of the most unlikely Yankees ever, because for all those years he pitched for the arch rival Boston Red Sox. And even now, when they show video highlights of him on the screen at Yankee Stadium when he's wearing a Red Sox uniform, they boo the video highlights until he shows up on screen in a Yankee uniform. There is the coveted jewel, championship ring. Jordan again fouls it off. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, he talked about scouting and where players come from. Roger Clemens out of an excellent college program at the University of Texas. He was the Red Sox #1 draft pick in 1983. Players from the United States and Canada and Puerto Rico subject to being drafted by the teams in the order of which they finished the year before. The worst teams getting the first couple of picks.
3-2.
But anybody else around the world, if you're a baseball player out there, you are what they term a free agent. You are subject to bidding by everybody else.
3-2 delivery and a walk. First walk of the ball game off Roger Clemens. Comes with 2 down here in the 4th inning. 10 pitches thrown. Jordan's on.
Tito Martinez quickly over to try and calm down Roger Clemens. He thought he had a couple of strikes to Brian Jordan, passed him. This pitch just a hair low. Watch him step off the mound like he's headed to the dugout, but he's going to have to stay out there a little bit longer. So Tito Martinez quickly went over and talked to him and tried to calm down the Rocket. I think he's trying to get him focused at the task at hand here. Let's get this final out.
Glasgow's had the only ball out of the infield against Clemens so far tonight. The single he picked up in the 2nd inning, which is the only Braves hit. And he fouls that one off. 2 down and a runner on at first base. Brian Klesko had that forearm looked at when he went in between innings, as he took that ground ball at first up in the arm in the last half inning and got a little bruise out of it. One that bounced off his glove, off his forearm, and away from him.
Size of those forearms, they should have checked the ball.
Dangerous home run power. Lob toss over, and Jordan back to the bag. Clemens got it in, foul back. Interesting question we were talking about, Kenny. We had an email from a very tired Alex in England who's watching the game at about 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, how do they decide the MVP of the World Series?
Well, they have all the writers on hand here from around the cities that cover Major League Baseball, and baseball writers are the ones that choose the MVP of the World Series, the National League and American League Championship Series. There's a panel of writers that are chosen prior to the series, and they make the decision.
And a chopper down to first base. Martinez will put the tag on. No runs, no hits. A base runner left on. Alex in England. Maybe you'll get some sleep tomorrow, but tonight you got to hang with us. 3-0 Yankees. Yankees leading at 3-0. Last night they won 10 innings. 50th extra inning World Series game. Chad Curtis, a home run to win it. A game winner. Last time that happened, Joe Carter of Toronto. October 23, 1993, Game 6 against Philadelphia. He didn't walk off, he jumped off.
Well, this home run actually ended the World Series as the Blue Jays won for the second year in a row.
Chad Curtis doing it last night, the 10th time a World Series game has ended on a home run. So Chad Curtis in the record books, and of course he got 2 home runs in that ballgame. Scott Brocious leads it off, the only man not to hit in the 3rd inning. Brocious taking a little what for there on the bench from Ricky Leday, isn't he?
Yeah, Ricky wants some of that good luck to rub off on him.
Towering fly ball, shallow right. Ryan Jordan.
You know, the Toronto Blue Jays actually got some, a few votes as the team of the decade. They won back-to-back world titles, and nobody else has actually done that. The Yankees have a chance to duplicate that if they could win tonight. The Blue Jays, the only team this decade to win 2 years in a row, 92 and 93.
It's not an easy thing to do in sports. Come back and win again. It's such a prolonged season when you continue to play to the bitter end. The off season is so short. You don't get a lot of rest. You end up on the chicken circuit, eating chicken and doing banquets and speaking and celebrating, and the next thing you know, you're in spring training. Chuck Knobloch, top of the order. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the ball game. The Yankees are trying to become the 14th team to win at least 2 straight series. Trying to do it against John Smoltz and the Atlanta Braves here tonight. Kenny said Toronto did it 92-93. Another pop-up, not deep, right field. Ryan Jordan. 2 down.
One thing that's made the Yankees such effective winners, even though they have the lead, they do not sit on the lead. They try and score more. They get in the latter stages of the game. They like to call it tacking on runs. Just a run here, a run there, that make it even more difficult for the opposition to come back. And then they turn it over to the likes of Mariano Rivera. And since July, that means the game is over.
They're very focused, as they were last year when they swept. Again this year, the only thing they think about is the game in front of them, and then go out and deal with it on every at-bat and every pitch. Derek Jeter singled, scored in the 3rd inning. Martinez, a 2 RBI single in that inning. Jorge Posada, the other RBI for the 3-0 lead. Part of the Jeter jet set on hand here at Yankee Stadium. He had about 5 or 6 young ladies way upstairs before the game screaming literally at him. Towards 3rd, Chipper Jones. And he's out of there. So a good inning for Smoltz, who threw only 7 pitches himself that time to retire the side in order. That's the first time he set him down 1, 2, 3. Each week you get all the great baseball action in a program that has all the bases covered. Keep your eye on the Baseball Max. Check your local listings in your country for air times.
Well, those two have kind of maxed out this series. They talked about the table setters and the fact that those two have scored more runs as a 1-2 combination in the batting order than anybody in baseball. They have scored 9 runs in this World Series between them. Knobloch has scored 5 times out of the leadoff spot, and Derek Jeter has scored 4 out of the 2nd spot in the order.
We're talking about that MVP award. If the Yankees were to go on and sweep here,
wow,
it would have to come from the Yankees. I think I don't know who. There's no really outstanding player here.
I would have to think the fact that he has scored 5 times, it might go to Chuck Knobloch. That's my thought.
Big home run,
yeah,
tie the game up.
Yeah.
Yep. But this is not over yet.
Usually a pitcher will get it when he gets multiple wins in a World Series, and if the Yankees win, of course, that can't happen.
Roger Clemens trying to be the wrap-up pitcher. Keith Lockhart as we go to the 5th inning. Knobloch, a big blast that tied the game up last night. Lockhart threw the fastball. 1-1. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Eddie Perez and Andruw Jones will follow. Roger Clemens probably wants this win about as much as he has ever wanted a win or anything else in baseball.
Well, his nickname is a Rocket, but this year he only had one game in which he struck out double figures in strikeouts. This is the guy who has the all-time record, 20 in a game, and he did it twice.
Lockhart by Clemens and Knobloch. Ball that will die out there in center field, but it's a base hit and a leadoff single. So Lockhart is on in the 5th inning with just the 2nd hit for the Braves.
After that dive, Knobloch is getting his uniform back together. Watch how many steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps that I counted. Might have been more. As he tried to come up with this just underneath the glove. Even if he comes up with it, he's not going to throw Lockhart out. So you got to be impressed with the effort.
Perez hit into a fielder's choice. He stands in. Runner on at first base. 3-0 Yankee lead. Where the hits have come hard for the Atlanta Braves. Looked like they were going to, I mean, they did break open and came away with 14 hits and a losing cause last night and extra base hits, but they're right back again here tonight so far to weak outs, weak hits. Fastball up high, 2-0 to Perez. Perez getting a look at Clemens for the first time in his career.
Well, you mentioned the hits that the Braves had lost, and I played in a game where the team had the most hits in a World Series game and lost it. Pittsburgh Pirates back in 1979 had 17 hits against us in a game and still lost it. But they didn't lose the series. That's
the worst part.
Yeah, they came back and won it. Those years playing for the Baltimore Orioles, it was a lot of fun. We had good teams in the 70s and the 80s.
See the ERA and how it's gone up. Largest one-year increase by a pitcher, 2.65 to 4.6. And here in postseason, his ERA in the 2 starts he's made is 5.
You might explain what an ERA is. That's the amounts of earned runs that a pitcher will give up in 9 innings, a full game. So from the last year to this year, Roger Clemens almost gave up 2 more runs per game, which really is quite an increase. But it shows you how the Yankees have a team that supports him. He still came away with a winning record of 14-10 during the regular season.
3-1. He'll back out. So if you look at that ERA this year, 4.60, if it's a correct number, it means if he pitches 9 innings, he gives up 4.6 runs, which of course you can't do. And that one swung on and grounded down to third. Brocious second, Knobloch 1, relay. They turn 2 to the bad knees. Perez cannot run.
But Chuck Knobloch right in the middle of that play. Not a hard hit ball, which makes it tough to turn a double play. Brocious charges, as Gary mentioned, Eddie Perez with the bad knees. Knobloch gets the throw over the first. And Knobloch, despite all the errors this year, has not made an error in this World Series. His fielding has been excellent. See the slide by Lockhart doesn't affect him. The throw is right there. The turn to double play. Chuck Knobloch, yeah, gave a little bit back to Keith Lockhart.
Clemens likes that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pitcher's best friend, that double play. Do you see how Knobloch touches the bag? Second baseman and shortstops have different ways of making sure they touch the bag when they are turning a double play. He kind of straddles the bag in position, then kicks it with his foot as he's getting ready to make the throw. That's an interesting move at second.
That way he can go either way with the throw. If the throw is to the outfield side, he can go to the left foot. If it's to the infield side, he can touch it with his right foot. See, the left foot is on the bag. He's made contact, and now he can throw on the first base. It's all in the footwork around the bag.
There are different ways of doing that. See that foot kicking the bag, gets his momentum going towards first, then he can follow through with the throw. 1-2 delivery. Foul back. There are some shortstop second basemen who love to come right across the bag full speed. They take the throw on the run right across the bag, and then make a running throw. Others like to stop on the bag, get it, then back off and throw.
You got to get out of the way of the runner.
Yeah.
You got to get out of the way because he's trying to break things up. Willie Randolph, longtime Yankee second baseman. I don't think I ever got Willie on a double play. Never. Maybe I touched his shoelace one time. He was really quick around the bag.
Struck him out. Andrew Jones continues his struggle, and Clemens with 3 Ks. No runs, a base hit, and nobody left on. The Yankees trying to sweep the World Series. Have a 3-0. Major League Baseball International bringing you the 1999 World Series. Game 4 at Yankee Stadium in New York, where the sellout crowd, with each out recorded, anticipates the 25th World Series championship for the Yankees. And another sweep. Smoltz on the mound against O'Neill. Bottom half of the 5th inning. O'Neill, Williams, and Martinez due up. Smoltz has walked 3, 1 intentional, struck out 6. Yankees have been retired only once, 1, 2, 3, and that was the last inning. The 0-1 delivery. Foul back by O'Neill. See a lot of brooms on hand here tonight in New York. Any opportunity to become an entrepreneur is never passed up. Fans outside were selling brooms as you came to the ballpark. Brooms, posters, sweep signs. There they are.
What kind of use would you have for that after the night?
Clean up after the parade.
Well, not with that particular type of broom.
Hit your best friend over the head.
Well, you have to wait the next baseball season.
1-2 delivery and a grounder towards second base. Brett Boone and Paul O'Neill, the first out here in the 5th. You got one of those take home, didn't you? No.
I got to deflate it, put it in my suitcase.
Bernie Williams coming up. Now there's one you could use.
Oh yeah.
Looks like it's been used. Williams drew an intentional pass and scored his last time up. Foul back. He grounded out in the 1st inning.
Well, what a crack crew we have here. Guys with brooms right near the cameras.
We come equipped with all the paraphernalia necessary for a complete world broadcast.
A complete good time.
Complete world broadcast. The 0-1 delivery. I bet the guys at the hair house have brooms over there right now. 1-1. John Smoltz will have to wait. Williams backs out on him.
Where's that again? In Thailand?
We're going to keep talking about him until they send a free ticket. Where'd you go after the World Series? Well, we went to see Dr. Doom and the boys at the hair house. Thailand is the place. They say it's paradise. Foul back. Two ball, 2 strike count on Bernie Williams.
Majority of games where team scores first is the team that usually wins a game. And with the way Roger Clemens is throwing the ball tonight and the way he seems to be into this game, it's going to be tough for the Braves to come back.
Where was that fouled off? That was a missile. Bernie Williams out in front of it, ripped it down that first baseline to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack Nicholson thinks the sun's up. How could you even see the game tonight with sunglasses on? 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's just cool.
That's right, just cool. John Smoltz. Williams with a 2-2 delivery to him. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. 7 strikeouts for John Smoltz, and there are 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Think back with Jack Nicholson to the movie The Cuckoo's Nest, when he said, "You guys want to see the World Series?" Well, he's got a seat right up front. Here's Bernie Williams taking that fastball that tails back over the corner for call strike 3, and that's been the. Yep, he's looking at the World Series.
Where's Nurse Ratchet? That's a Nicholson moon right there. 2 down. And a strike taken by Martinez, who had a 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning. He now has picked up 4 hits and 13 at-bats here in the World Series. Smoltz gets him to foul that one off, and a 2-strike count.
I think I'm going to rent that movie after the series is over. Just
Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah, that's
a great movie.
Great entertainment.
Yep. Tino Martinez waiting on the 0-2 delivery, and that'll be topped foul at the plate. It'll stay at 2 strikes. We got a question from Bangkok, Thailand. Parinya, and I'm going to try this. Wang Chuchergan said, "Would you please let me know how many kinds of pitches there are and the differences in them? Keep talking about sliders and breaking balls."
That was a sinking fastball right there. What the pitchers like to call a 2-seamer. Sliders have a quick break to them. Curveballs more of a break. A knuckleball kind of flutters to the plate. A changeup is off speed, which means it's thrown slower. And a fastball is thrown as hard as you can throw it, just like that one. It's kind of hard to describe until you actually get up there and try and hit one of them.
And there can be as many pitches as pitchers can dream up.
Yeah.
Backdoor sliders, backdoor knuckleballs, overhand sidearm, submarine, 3-quarter.
See the way Tom Glavine's gripping the ball? That's a 4-seam fastball. A baseball has 4 seams on it, and when you throw it that way, it has a tendency to stay up in the strike zone. That's the most powerful pitch a pitcher can throw. But John Smoltz relies on power and movement of his pitches. So he'll hold the ball slightly off center and make it move.
2-2 delivery with 2 down, and a full count on Tino Martinez.
It's not so much the variety, it's what you can do with them. If you can throw them to where you want them and be a good control pitcher, you usually get people out.
And Smoltz did it there. So 8 strikeouts, 5 of them have been called. He gets 2 here in this inning and retires the Yankees in order. He's retired the last 7 Yankees faced, but New York's up 3-0. 3-5-0 for the Yankees through the first 5 innings. 0-2-0 for the Atlanta Braves. Just 2 hits off Roger Clemens, a 1-out single by Klesko in the 2nd inning, and a leadoff single in the 5th inning that ended up being a double play. And quickly, Lockhart retired after getting that hit. So dominated tonight by the Rocket, and we go to the 6th inning. Atlanta will have Weiss hitting 9th, and Williams and Boone up against Roger Clemens. New York Yankees trying to sweep back-to-back World Series. Last time it happened, the Yankees did it. 1938 against the Cubs and 1939 against Cincinnati. And a chance to do it again. And for Joe Torre, he would be 3-0 in World Series play if the Yankees can win this 1999 World Series. Walt Weiss. Weiss with the 0-for-1. And chops it right back to Clemens. Hello. Vacuum cleaner on that one.
That was the first curveball that he's thrown tonight. It's mostly been fastballs and split finger fastballs, and he's gotten a lot of grounders, and he gets another one on the curve. I thought early in the ball game, the first inning, the Rocket was struggling to find his rhythm, and even though he got the Braves out 1-2-3, he was kind of all over the place. Since that point, everything has been just about where he wants it. So he is really on tonight. 12 ground ball outs, Gary.
That's what we were talking about, Kenny. If he's on, that's what he's going to get. That's what he's getting. Don Zimmer on the left with Joe Torre. And they start to rub it into Atlanta. Atlanta, of course, has the chop shop there with the chant. Now the Yankee fans are chanting and chopping with the brooms. Pitch towards short. Derek Jeter, nice pick. He got him.
Well, this is why Derek Jeter's not only one of the top offensive shortstops in the game, but defensively, he is outstanding. Looked like the ball was going back through the middle. Watch him not only make the play, but then throw off balance. Right on target for the out. What a play by Jeter. He is something else to watch on a daily basis. And you don't want to take a guy like that for granted, but he makes not only the easy plays, but the tough ones.
5 assists in the game for Jeter. And Boone up in a 1-strike count. Boone has struck out, grounded out, 6 for 12 in the World Series, batting over .270 in the postseason. Bounces away from Jorge Posada, and 1-1.
I guess you could call the Yankee fans tonight. They're doing the mock chop.
Some of them are too cold to do it.
Yeah.
1-1. Missed inside. 2-ball, 1-strike count. I'm wondering how Darryl Cousins feels about not wearing a jacket or turtleneck. Here you see the 12 ground ball, 1 fly ball, and 3 strikeouts for Clemens.
And the 1 fly ball out didn't go to an outfielder.
2-2.
Well, it's a tradition here when a pitcher gets 2 strikes, the fans get on their feet in anticipation of the strikeout. Nope, not on this pitch.
I think they may be from 2 different parts of the world. One of them looks like he's just got back from the Antarctic, and the other one's vacationing in Thailand. Darryl Cousins, home plate umpire.
That is Steve Ripley.
Darryl Cousins is from California, the home plate umpire.
Steve Ripley's from Florida.
3-2. Second walk given up by Clemens. Both have come with 2 down.
Close pitch, but he didn't get the call. Clemens thought he had strike 3. Let's take a look. Wow, I don't blame him for being upset. See, he's not yelling at the umpire. He's yelling out, "Come on, let's go."
He's hiding what he's yelling from the umpire. 2 away, Chipper Jones, who has grounded out twice. Jones 3 hits and 11 times up in the World Series. And the Larry chant goes on at Yankee Stadium. Down to third, Brocious, long throw on the run, 1 hop. He got him! Scott Brocious. Outstanding defensive plays in that inning, one by Jeter and that one by Brocious. Keeps it a 3-0 Yankee lead, and Clemens, thank you. Yankees trying to sweep it. They've got the 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Gary Thorne, Ken Singleton in our Major League Baseball International crew.
Well, when teams start to make plays like this in the field and you're the opposition, you begin to feel it's not going to be your night. First Jeter and then Brocious. Excellent plays last inning. The reaction of Roger Clemens on his mound as his infielders have picked him up big time last inning.
Kenny, we were talking between innings about the difference. Those 2 guys, Jeter and Brocious, in their defensive plays in that inning, and what a difference it makes in a game. Strawberry fouls it back. To what's happened to Atlanta. Here in this game, the play at first base, Ryan Klesko couldn't make one off his arm, called a hit, but it could have been a double play. And then the errors Brian Hunter committed in Atlanta that opened up a big inning and kept it open. The Yankees took advantage of it. Those are the little things we talk about. They're not really little things at all. They're big things that decide a game.
Exactly, because you know John Smoltz is going to give you a representative effort when he's pitching. And the Yankees, it kind of reminds me of Game 1 when the Braves made those errors and opened it up for the Yankees to score 4 runs in the 8th inning. They scored 3 in the 3rd. And in Game 1, they didn't score in any other inning. This might be enough for them to win this game by scoring 3 in the 3rd here tonight.
First base has been a problem fielding-wise, with Hunter committing the errors after he came in as a defensive replacement. Swung on a miss. 8 strikeouts for 9 rather for Smoltz in the game. 3 in a row as Strawberry goes down, 1 away in the 6th inning. But he has given up the 3 runs on 5 hits. A couple of defensive plays. Could be a different looking ball game. Jorge Posada came up with the RBI single in the 3rd when the Yankees sent 8 men to the plate. Got the 2 RBI single by Martinez and the single by Posada, 2-out hit. Jorge fouls that one straight back. Strike 1. Double barrel action. Mulholland up for the 2nd time. The one closest to you, the left-hander, right-hander Russ Springer. Strike delivery. Posada with a big floating off-speed changeup.
Good pitch by Smoltz. Smoltz with the 9 strikeouts. The only Yankee that has not struck out tonight has been Derek Jeter.
0-2 delivery. Another one. Well, he's really mixing it up. That looked like that knuckler. We said earlier he'll throw the knuckleball maybe as many as 3 times a game. It's a pitch he's fooled around with in his career, and this year started to use a little.
Oh, one of the greatest knuckleballers in history. Yeah, that's a knuckler, all right. Was Phil Niekro. And Phil Niekro, a longtime pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, also pitched for the New York Yankees later on in his career, was a 300-game winner and is in the Hall of Fame.
So he's retired 10 Yankees via the strikeout, and the last 4 have been strikeout victims from John Smoltz.
Think about Phil Niekro being in the Hall of Fame. He is number 8 on the all-time strikeout list, and Clemens is number 9.
Played by Klesko to the bag, and again the sides retired in order. The last 10 Yankees retired by John Smoltz, but the bats of the Braves. Only 2 hits so far. Take a look again at this knuckler. Game 4, Yankee Stadium. Yankees lead at 3-0. This copyrighted telecast of property of the Office of the Commissioner of Major League Baseball, intended for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Bud Selig, the Commissioner of Major League Baseball. Game side for Game 4. And maybe a presentation. World Series money gets divided up, of course, to these World Series players. The final 2 teams left standing in the season. And last year, record numbers. Even the losers, $204,000 per player. The winners, $312 plus.
They'll tell you about the money they earned. You'll spend that money eventually, but you have that ring. The players play for what Roger Clemens wants more than anything else, a World Series ring. He's had a great career. He's going to the Hall of Fame eventually, but he does not have a World Series ring. And it is a prized possession.
0-1 the count here. We are in the 7th inning.
I was fortunate enough to get one in 1983 as the Baltimore Orioles beat Philadelphia Phillies 4-1 in the World Series. Now each year the ring is different. There's different design, and it's unique. And there's only about 40, maybe 50 of them floating around tops from each year. Every player and some of the coaches and the managers and the front office people get them.
There's a family heirloom. 25 is what the Yankees are looking for, the 25th World Championship. Brian Jordan, 1-2 delivery to him. 4 strikeouts for Roger Clemens.
Well, the Braves are getting to the point of the game where the outs are becoming more precious as you start to erase them off the board. With Brian Jordan going out on strikes on a split finger fastball, the Braves are now down to 8 outs.
Braves have lost their last 7 World Series games. If they lose tonight, they will tie the record set by Philadelphia and the Yankees. Philadelphia in 1915 and the Yankees in 1921. Both lost 8 consecutive. Bobby Cox's club with a loss here tonight will have 8 losses in a row in World Series games. And the Yankees doing it to him. To second base. Knobloch. Klesko retired. 2 down.
Yet another ground ball out for an infielder. Ricky Leday, Bernie Williams, and Paul O'Neill in the outfield have not touched the ball this game. That is how dominant Roger Clemens has been.
What did Satchel Paige used to say?
He told his outfielders, I will not need you this inning. You might as well stay in the dugout.
The great Satchel Paige, who pitched in the old Negro Leagues originally and then in Major League Baseball at the end of his magnificent career. Keith Lockhart with 2 down and nobody on. How about the starting pitchers for the Yankees? El Duque Orlando Hernandez gave up 1 hit. David Cone, 1 hit. Roger Clemens, 2 hits. Andy Pettit's the only one who's been touched. Cone gave up that home run. Orlando Hernandez, great starts, and Clemens right there with him. 1 and 2.
It's one of the few pitches tonight that Clemens has tried to overthrow. Now, in a lot of major league parks, they have the radar gun readings up on the scoreboard. They do not have that here. So you have to get your readings from down below. But he's throwing pretty well tonight.
Lockhart, the designated hitter, fouls it back. He's picked up 1 of the 2 hits tonight. Lockhart has a single. Ian Klesko. The veteran pitcher and the young catcher. Clemens and Jorge Posada. And the cold fan.
Maybe a Braves fan doesn't want to look.
Using the tomahawks to count Clemens' strikeouts. 1-2. Down low with it. 2-ball, 2-strike count on Lockhart.
Well, one thing we've seen over the last few years, the Yankees are built to get to this point, to try and win the World Series. As long as George Steinbrenner owns the team, you got to figure that's going to be the case.
Come to win. More you win. As the owner, the more people come, the more money you make. And he continues to draw record numbers. The Yankees do here at Yankee Stadium. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Lockhart waiting. Pops that one up, third base. Clemens retires the side in order. Yankees that much closer. 7th inning stretch time. Game 4. Principal owner of the Yankees on the left. Reggie, who is supposed to throw out the first pitch tomorrow night. Our World Series moments. He had him.
Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Series against the Dodgers in 1977. 3 consecutive home runs on 3 pitches. 3 times to the plate, and Reggie, the last one, out into the black seats here where nobody sits. About 470 feet. That's how he earned the moniker Mr. October.
And there he is with the boss. He may not get a chance to throw out the first pitch. But there probably is not going to be a game 5. The way the Yankees are rocking right now. John Smoltz has walked 3, 1 intentional, struck out 10. Scott Brocious up against him. Brocious, strikeout victim, and is flied out. And that one is taken down low. Dave Winfield, former Yankee, on hand. He was here last night as well.
That is his wife Tanya with him.
2-1. And that's going to be a base hit. Scott Brocious. Leadoff single in the bottom half of the 7th inning. In this game, the Yankees have had the chances and taken advantage of them. John Smoltz has picked up the 10 strikeouts in the ball game. Smoltz one of the victims, but fans looking for the sweep, and Tino Martinez taking him that way. A 2 RBI single delivered in the 3rd. Jorge Posada, same inning, RBI single accounting for the 3 runs. Brocious, outstanding D, and Clemens celebrating, looking for his first World Series win. Joe Torre looking to go 3-0 in World Series play. The Yankees trying to continue the great run. Squared, taken for a strike by Chuck Knobloch.
Well, Knobloch squaring the bunt had the Braves infield scrambling. I think he was trying to sacrifice.
Knobloch a single and 3 times up. Smoltz has given up 6 hits. Does square and fouls it back. And a 2-strike count on Chuck Knobloch.
Chuck, who had that bunt in game 1 that helped break that game open in the 8th inning when Brian Hunter dropped the ball defensively and it loaded the bases and opened it up for the Yankees to score 4 runs and erase a 1-0 Atlanta lead.
It's been that one big inning. John Smoltz had retired the side in order in the 4th, 5th, and 6th before that single by Scott Brocious to lead this inning off in the 7th. Knobloch again, and he bunts it foul with a 2-strike count. So 11 strikeouts in the ball game now for John Smoltz. And 1 away here in the 7th inning.
Fans might be wondering why Chuck Knobloch is out. Well, when you try and bunt with 2 strikes and you bunt it foul, it is considered a strikeout. And Knobloch does not get the ball into fair territory or advance the runner. And once his ball is headed to foul territory, he knows that he's out. That's a strikeout.
In case you're wondering, the World Series record for strikeouts in a game is held by Bob Gibson, 17 in 1968. Smoltz has 11 here tonight.
Gibson, a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, and he struck out 17 Detroit Tigers.
Smoltz with 11 now is the most strikeouts in a World Series game since Tom Seaver picked up 12 1973 against Oakland. But this is a losing cause right now. 3-0. Springer, Mulholland have been up a couple of times. Derek Jeter 1 for 2. And will he join the strikeout parade?
Only Yankee not to strike out tonight, as John Smoltz has been very effective outside of the 3rd inning.
Brocious at first, a chopper to short. Weiss the second one relay. Ooh, not in time. I don't know how Weiss got that over to Boone. That was an awkward angle for Weiss to be throwing, and Boone had to make a nasty pivot with the runner Brocious bearing down.
Well, Brocious trying to make sure they don't get a double play, and you can see the accurate throw, number 1, and yep, he couldn't get much on the throw. Jeter also has great speed, so it would have been tough to turn. There's the little flip to second. Good throw there, but you can see the runner Brocious coming in, and Boone couldn't get enough on the throw to first base to complete the double play. All in the pressure from the runner sliding into second. Boone has to get it. You know, playing second base is like going to a fast food restaurant. You want to get in and out as fast as possible.
Otherwise, you get stuffed. 2 down. Runner goes outside. Throw down. Off the mark. Stolen base. Derek Jeter gets the stolen base. Eddie Perez throw to the shortstop side of the bag. Jeter's got a couple of stolen bases tonight.
Jeter moves down to second, getting himself into scoring position with 2 outs for Paul O'Neill. Pitch was outside for a ball. Eddie Perez, no chance to get him. Jeter got too good a jump and is in easily.
Paul O'Neill will get the RBI chance with 2 away and a 1-0 count. Perez trying to keep that throwing hand warm. O'Neill in the ball game. Struck out, grounded out. Reached on a walk and fouls that off. 1-1.
O'Neill drove in a run that put the Yankees ahead to stay in each of the first 2 games of the series. And only twice has a player had 3 game-winning RBIs in one series. The last being Hank Greenberg in 1945. Of course, that won't happen for O'Neill tonight because Tito Martinez drove in the runs.
Fly ball to right. Brian Jordan settles under. Nope. Jones came across and took it away. That'll retire the side. No runs, a base hit. Jeter left stranded at second. 7 complete. 3-0 Yankees. Major League Baseball International, thank you for joining us in New York. The Bronx, the Borough, the place, Yankee Stadium, where the fans are already starting to celebrate. They can't help themselves. A 3-0 lead and a chance for the Yankees to sweep the series and win the World Championship for the 25th time. Smoltz coming out with Perez. He has struck out 11 in the game, but given up the 3 runs, 6 hits, and out of the ball game. Greg Myers pinch hitting, takes the pitch up high. Myers on as the pinch hitter for Eddie Perez, the catcher. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Luis Sojo, whose dad passed away and he missed the first 2 games in Atlanta, gets his chance in the game as he's on for Knobloch, a defensive replacement at second base. 1-1. Chopper back to Clemens. Bare hands it. One away. Clemens has gone the distance. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts after his first World Series win ever. Mariano Rivera will get up, warm up a little bit. Clemens would love to be out there on the mound to finish this game, I'm sure, if it stays like this, 3-0. Andrew Jones 0 for 2, 1 for 12 in the World Series. Towards short, Jeter. Atlanta's heading home.
And they're not going by air, they're going by ground tonight.
Jeff Nelson and Mike Stanton. Yankee bullpen last night in the persons of Grimsley, Nelson, and Rivera did a great job. Clemens tonight has done it by giving up just 2 hits and no runs. Missed inside. Walt Weiss 0 for 2 in the game. Ball 2 up high. What a disappointment if the Braves cannot get this turned around here. To have won so many games in the 90s with only 1 World Series win to show for it. If they lose this, they'll be 1-4 in the World Series in the 90s. 2-1.
While the Braves pitching hasn't been all that bad, the Yankees pitching has been outstanding.
All the way around, the Yankee starters have taken the game so deep.
Well, with the exception of Andy Pettitte, and then last night the bullpen took over. That gave the Yankees a chance to get back into that one. Scouting reports, you might not need them till next spring.
3-2. Only 2 balls to reach the outfield. The singles by Klesko and Lockhart. The hits off the Yankee starters Hernandez one, Cone one. Andy Pettit did give some up, and Clemens has given up just 2. And another one in the infield. Clemens will cover, throw to him, not in time, and Clemens may be hurt. Clemens got run over. Clemens thought he had the out. Joe Torre is coming out to tackle the first base umpire, Jerry Davis. And Gene Monahan, the longtime trainer, is going to come out and talk to Roger Clemens.
Let's take a look at a play. Difficult play. A lot of communication has to be done between the pitcher. And once it gets by Clemens, then it's Tito Martinez's ball. Clemens will go for the bag. The throw is there for him to catch it. You can see Clemens as Weiss trips over his leg. Now Clemens in an awkward position, watching the throw from Tito Martinez. The throw will be there. He makes the catch. It looks like Weiss was out, doesn't it? And he didn't step on the bag. He might have stepped on Clemens. Let's take another look. Here's the throw. The catch is made cleanly. He's on the bag. He stepped on Clemens' calf. He should be out. But instead, the call is safe, as Weiss is called safe by first base umpire Jerry Davis. This might be the definitive angle right here. There's the catch. His foot is on the bag. The step on the calf. Walt Weiss should be out.
Instead, he will be credited with the 3rd hit off Roger Clemens, a single and a hit of Roger Clemens as he stepped on the back of his leg. He may have to get a team of racehorses here to get Clemens out of the ball game. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He'll get a chance to throw a couple of pitches here to see if he's all right. You see him saying, okay, I'm okay.
He's thrown 99 pitches thus far in the game.
Joe Torre, it's worth noting here, it's only 3-0. Only 3-0. It is the 8th inning. But Torre knows this is not over yet. What you don't want to do is open the door up again to the Braves. So if Clemens is in any way hurting, he does not want to leave him in there and maybe throw a fat pitch that ends up out of the yard.
Well, you would suspect now the Braves have to get one more man on before they have the tying run to the plate. And just in case, Mike Stanton is up in the bullpen and they're on the phone again.
2 down. Gerald Williams, leadoff batter. Strike 1. Rivera's just moving around the closer to stay warm here. Williams has gone 0 for 3 in the game, 2 for 16 in the series, and just 226 in the postseason. Atlanta will look back on these numbers in this postseason and wonder what happened. Clemens with the 0-1.
Gerald Williams has chased 2 pitches out of the strike zone. And this is why Atlanta should be looking for a legitimate leadoff hitter. Because Gerald Williams likes to swing the bat too much. Remember, they need one more man to get on base to have the tying run at the plate.
Stays at a 2-strike count.
And he's chased 2 pitches out of the strike zone.
Undisciplined leadoff hitter we were talking about earlier. That's why the on-base percentage has not been as good as it should be for a leadoff batter for Bobby Cox's team. Roger Clemens looking for his 5th strikeout. So are the Yankee fans. That one's going to be a base hit into left field, and this is what Torre didn't want to see happen. Leday will get it back in. 2 hits here in the 8th inning, and all of a sudden this 3-0 game has the potential tying run coming to the plate in the person of Brett Boone.
First time in this game that the Atlanta Braves have had 2 men on base. Here's a splitter that just doesn't have the drop to it. Kind of hangs right there for Gerald Williams to hit. And he delivers with a single.
And here comes Torre. He's going to go to the bullpen. Listen to the hand. And all of a sudden got ourselves a game here in game 4 with New York leading at 3-0. The Braves not going to go quietly as Roger Clemens.
It's our MasterCard priceless moment, and it's Roger Clemens leaving the game.
I always like to see players acknowledge fans with the tip of the cap. A lot of guys don't do that anymore. I think it's a nice gesture.
It certainly is. I mean, these fans paid their way to paying your salary, actually, when you think about it.
Well, big moment. 32-year-old Jeff Nelson is on. He's appeared now in all the World Series games and 8 games this postseason. And Brett Boone was going for the tying home run. 2 on and 2 down. Boone has had an 0 for 2 and a walk. Faced Nelson only once, 1 for 1 off Jeff Nelson. Boone will take it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count, 8th inning. That close for the Yankees, but that fine. Walt Weiss, the lead runner. Williams at first. Boone, strike 2.
And Nelson has that slider that goes away from a right-handed hitter and a fastball that comes in. So as your hitter at the plate, you got to decide which fork in the road are you going to take. He took the wrong one.
Nelson's been effective. 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit in the World Series, and a chopper towards the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. And we'll bring run in, and stopping at third base, Williams, and it is a 3-1 game. Walt Weiss around to score. Boone with the RBI rabbit shot, and that'll be it for Nelson. Now Chipper Jones is coming up, representing the go-ahead run. And the closer, Mariano Rivera, warmed up in the bullpen. Well, the Braves didn't get here by giving away games, and they have no intention of giving away this one. It's in the 8th inning, 2 on. And the closer for the Yankees coming on. Mariano Rivera has been untouchable in the postseason. He's worked 3 1/3 scoreless innings with a win and a save in the World Series. 11 scoreless innings, 2 wins, 5 saves in the postseason. He has not allowed a run in the last 24 1/3 innings of postseason, 17 outings. He has a streak of 11 consecutive innings over 7 games in the World Series. And he ended the season 30 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball over 28 games.
Simply put, he has not given up a run since July 21st.
Unbelievable performances. Chipper Jones. Ball 1. 1 run in, all coming with 2 down. Weiss single, Williams single. Boone got the RBI single. There are runners at first and third. Chipper Jones 0 for 3. 1-1.
Gary, we were talking to Bobby Cox before the game about left-handed hitters having problems hitting Mariano Rivera because he throws so hard and the ball moves in on their fist.
1 and 2.
And the feeling was maybe right-handed hitters have a better chance against him.
Rivera. The 1-2 to Chipper Jones. Ripped. That is a foul ball in a game of inches. Boy, did he tag that. He pulled it.
Chipper Jones, a very quick bat. You don't hit 45 home runs without one. All those pitches inside, he just uses his hands. Game of inches like Gary called it. Whoa, less than a foot foul.
You usually get only one good swing in an at-bat, especially off a guy like Rivera. 1-2 delivery again is outside, 2-2.
See, after all those balls in, they go away. And this will set up this next pitch. And you have to expect that maybe he'll come right back in with a good cutter.
(3-1) Yankee lead. 8th inning, 2 down. Williams at third and Boone at first. 2-2 delivery. Bobby Cox pacing in the Atlanta dugout.
Bobby Cox knows that this is the man they wanted to play in clutch situations. They have John Rocker warming in the bullpen just in case they get this game tied.
The 2-2 pitch swung on, grounded to second base. Knobloch the throw, and that will do it. Soho, rather. And they get the big out. Rivera comes on. Chipper Jones retired. The Atlanta Braves get a run on 3 hits, but they leave 2 on base. And as has happened throughout this series, the big hit has proved elusive for Atlanta. An exciting ending to this ball game that's not done yet. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Atlanta Braves trying to make that comeback, getting only 1 in the 8th inning, and the Yankees up 3-1. Going to the bottom of the 8th to try and tack on a run or 2 if they can, with Atlanta down to their final 3 outs to keep their season alive. Terry Mulholland out of the bullpen for John Smoltz. Smoltz worked 7, 3 runs, 6 hits, walked 3, struck out 11. Greg Myers will catch after coming on to pinch hit for Eddie Perez. So Mulholland will work to Williams, Martinez, and Strawberry due up. Bertie Williams, switch hitter, will turn around and bat right-handed. 0 for 2, intentional walks, scored once. And Mulholland up high to him for a ball. Pitch popped up, shallow right. Boone over. Whoa, and Jordan, little bump behind him, knocked him over, but Brett Boone held on to the baseball. Bertie Williams retired.
You know, with the crowd yelling, it's difficult for the players to communicate, and certainly Yankee fans are not helping them as they get closer and closer. The crescendo of the yelling gets louder and louder because the fans are anticipating a collision and maybe a ball being dropped. Now, it wasn't much of a collision, and you figure in any collision between those two, the football player is going to come out best. You can see who hit the ground. Brian Jordan with the tight coverage. He used to be a defensive back for the Atlanta Falcons.
He had him covered that time. Here's Tino Martinez with 1 down. Martinez, a big 2-out single in the 3rd inning, or 2 RBI single rather. The other RBI, Jorge Posada, got it same inning. All the damage done against Atlanta. John Smoltz came in that 3rd. Jimmy Leyritz has come out to pinch hit for Strawberry. Pitch fouled away.
Well, what Bobby Cox is seeing and what the Yankee fans are seeing and the Yankee team is maybe the Atlanta Braves slowly but surely turning into the San Diego Padres of a year ago. Well, the Yankees swept them 4 games in a row.
Another pop-up and plenty of time for Myers to get over. Atlanta Braves will have Jordan, Klesko, and Lockhart due up against Rivera in the top of the 9th inning. Ted Turner, his club, with just one more chance to keep the 99-year going. 2 down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and Jim Leyritz announced as the pinch hitter for Strawberry. Only a couple of at-bats in the postseason for Jimmy Leyritz. Has appeared in 1 game here in the World Series without an at-bat.
Had a key walk that drove in a run in game number 1. It was the 4th run for the Yankees as they scored 4 runs in the 8th inning and won 4-1.
Terry Mulholland with the 1-0 delivered to him and missed inside. A 2-0 count. Martinez, O'Neill. Big cut fouled off. Myers caught that foul ball with his body.
We saw a shot of the Yankee dugout, and when you've got the lead 3-1, you're just 3 outs away from winning the world title. Time seems to be going in slow motion. You just can't seem to go for, even when your team's hitting.
Three and 1 to Leyritz.
Of course, on the other side, time can't go slow enough.
Like it's running right on by you. 2 best teams in their respective league meeting here in this '99 World Series. This could be the last baseball game of the millennium. Joe Torre wants it to be a championship year for the New York Yankees. No team has won more world championships already with the 24 that they've already posted. The Montreal Canadiens of the National Hockey League, the team that is closest to them. They've already changed. Some of the fans have already made a decision. It's 25. Canadiens won 23 Stanley Cups in the NHL. Drilled in the air, deep left field. Jimmy Leyritz, and goodbye, home run.
If you're an Atlanta Brave fan and you just saw Jim Leyritz hit a home run against your team in the World Series, that might have added insult to injury, because you think back to 1996 when his home run off of Mark Wohlers turned that World Series around. 8th career postseason home run. Fouled off several pitches, got one up in the zone, and he touches it off, and he knows he got a lot of it, and it's gone. Here's another look. The high leg kick, the follow through. Gerald Williams will not get this one. The Yankees have gotten that run back that the Braves scored in the top of the inning.
2 World Series home runs, both of them off the Braves. That one driven. Jorge Posada, way back. That's going to go off the base of the wall. Andrew Jones gets it back in. Posada's on with his 2nd hit.
Jim Leyritz's nickname is the King. Sometimes it's good to be the king. Here's a look at Posada's line drive double. We told you that Andre Jones plays fairly shallow in center field. Not going to have enough time. There's not enough air underneath this one. Line drive to the base of the wall in center field, and a 2-base hit for Jorge Posada. Well, the Yankees were quiet, thinking that things were going very slowly, but the eruption on the bench as Leyritz hit the home run.
Smiles. Chad had 2 in a game winner yesterday. And the announcement made that he's coming on as the pinch hitter here for Leday. And that will bring Bobby Cox out and Terry Mulholland out of the game. In the bottom half of the 8th inning with 2 away. New York lead. Greg Maddux, their great Cy Young Award winner, 4 times over down there in the bullpen. But it'll take a major miracle on the part of the Atlanta Braves. Russ Springer is their 3rd pitcher. 2 down, runner at second base. Chad Curtis is the pinch hitter for Leday. Curtis, first ball hitting, popped it up first base. Ryan Klesko, ball being blown over, he makes the play. The Yankees, a run on 2 hits, leave a base runner on. The home run by Jimmy Leyritz has made it a 4-1 game. Atlanta's got 3 outs to work with, trailing 4-1 going to the 9th. 99 World Series is being brought to you by MasterCard. Yankee Stadium line collectively on its feet as the New York Yankees are 3 outs away from their 25th World Championship.
Let's go back to 1996. John Wetzel on the mound. The pop-up in the air. Charlie Hayes will field it. The Yankees win the world title.
A flourish on us.
Just a year ago in San Diego. Ground ball to third. I sense a theme here. There's a ground ball, and Brocious throws the first for the out. And the Yankees win the World Series for the 24th time. So third base seems to be the key for the last out. The last couple of times the Yankees have won the World Series.
Bobby Cox's club. Final shot. Jordan, Klesko, Lockhart due up. Brian Jordan, Mariano Rivera up high for a ball. Jordan struck out, grounded out, and has walked. Yankees with an incredible 21 wins and 3 losses in postseason play over the last 2 years. Even Joe Torre was stunned by those numbers when we were talking to him today.
Yeah, it's interesting because he wasn't aware of them. He knew they've been playing pretty well. Let's put it that way. But Joe Torre and Bobby Cox have something in common. They do not read the newspapers.
Or listen to the radio.
No, they don't.
They've won all 8 games when they've had a chance to clinch. Swung on a miss. 2-2. O'Neill playing with his dad having passed away last night. What an extreme of emotions for Paul O'Neill. Fouled back by Brian Jordan. Soho's dad passed away last week, and he missed the first 2 games of the World Series. And about a month ago, Scott Brocious lost his dad. 2-2 grounder. Mariano Rivera. 1.
Oh, what's amazing in this game, The Yankee pitching has been so dominating. No fly ball outs. The Braves have not been able to get a ball to the outfield.
Roger Clemens with a chance to win his first ever World Series game. As he went 7 2/3, gave up a run on 4 hits. MVP, who will it be? Knobloch with that big home run scored. Mariano Rivera is out there on the mound right now. And the Braves, 2 outs left in their season. Ryan Klesko up. 19 outs recorded by the Yankee infield with ground balls. Andres Galarraga did not play in these kinds of postseason games. Really missed. With that big bat, the RBIs, and the glove at first base.
Well, the crowd now is roaring with every strike thrown by Mariano Rivera.
2 ball, 1 strike count on Klesko. Fouls it off. Did he? Yeah. Foul ball. Yankees have had 9 MVPs in all their wins. Scott Brocious won it last year. John Wetland in '96. Bucky Dent, Reggie Jackson, Ralph Terry, Whitey Ford, Bobby Richardson, Bob Turley, and Don Larson.
There's that cutter in on the hands and fouled off by Klesko. In fact, he broke his bat.
I got a feeling Rivera, if he finishes this game up, may be added to that list. Two ball, 2 strike count. Another broken bat fouled off, and I mean the barrel ended up in right field.
Rivera would have a chance for a win, which he got in last night's game, and 2 saves. He saved game 1, and the possibility of saving this one for the Yankees.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Klesko waiting outside to him, 3-2. Broken bat popped up, second base, Soho, 2 down.
Well, we have seen Mariano Rivera break left-handers' bats time and time again. Of course, that's from last year. They don't print the papers that early here in New York.
There'll be one on the field in 5 minutes if they win. Keith Lockhart, 2 down, 9th inning, up high. 56,752 at Yankee Stadium. This would be the 9th time the Yankees have won at home. When this ball comes down, the 1999 World Champions are the New York Yankees. The decade of the 90s ends. Despite the fact they won 76 more regular season games than the Yankees, they do not take the big one, as the Yankees have done it again, coming away with their third World Championship here in the 90s and their 25th all-time. And Clemens has got the win and a ring.
Well, winning a world title, you think all the way back to March, there are 30 teams in Major League Baseball would like to be in the spot that the Yankees are in right now. You work so hard through spring training. Everybody comes about ready to go. A lot of injuries during the course of a year. This is going to be it. And how ironic is it? The only ball hit to the outfield tonight. When it comes down, the Yankees are world champions.
It wasn't third base, and it was the left side.
Yes, it was. Look at Posada's reaction. He knows that that's the out.
Series ring for him. Thinking of his dad as he moves in. And the Yankees will lay claim to all kinds of titles, but as the players continually said, the one that mattered, the 1999 World Champions.
A team that early in the season was being compared to last year's team. That was a great team last year, won 14 during the regular season. Paul O'Neill.
The emotions got to it.
Yeah.
Paul O'Neill crying as he left the field. Joe Torre, the manager, and his teammates not forgetting the extreme emotions he has to go through at this moment.
They're now in the Yankee clubhouse. You saw Brian Cashman, the GM.
And Mariano Rivera is the one who's added to that list as the MVP of this World Series. Unscored upon, 2 saves, including the one he picked up here tonight, and a win.
Senor Magnifico. He has been unbelievable this season and in the postseason.
Look at Clemens coming out to watch the final out. With El Duque. Still down on the field, surrounded by the press.
Hello, do you hear us?
Having to go through both the celebration of a championship season and remembering the personal emotions of his individual players like Paul O'Neill. Kind of a realistic conclusion to what Joe Torre means to this ball club as their manager.
Well, you think back to the spring training when he had to tell the team he was going to have to leave them to undergo prostate cancer surgery. Joe Torre said at that time baseball was the furthest thing from his mind. He was thinking more of family, his children. Of course, he recovered. Don Zimmer did a heck of a job while Joe Torre was out running the ball club. When Joe came back in Boston earlier this year, Don Zimmer said, I turned over a first base ball club. You keep it that way. And Joe Torre did. They go on and win the world title. And you can see that Joe, it's an emotional moment when you win a world championship in baseball because it's a culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. A whole organization organization is involved, not just the baseball team. People upstairs making personnel decisions. They're very proud and happy. The owner, certainly George Steinbrenner, when he won last year, I remember his words, "I'm not through winning yet," which means he was going to do his best to keep the team together, and he did it.
The last game of the 1900s goes to the New York Yankees.
Great job, man.
Our final score here, the Yankees win it 4-1 as they sweep the Atlanta Braves. Back-to-back sweeps in our Pepsi play of the game.
Keith Lockhart at the plate. The final out of this century. That is our Pepsi play of the game.
The Yankees have won 12 consecutive World Series games and go 11-1 in this postseason. We'll be back to Yankee Stadium to wrap it up. The sweep is complete. New York 4 and Atlanta 1. The Yankees winning it 4-1. Clemens the winner, Smoltz the loser, and Mariano Rivera the save and the MVP. And Roger Clemens tonight became a New York Yankee.
As we mentioned, he'd had a subpar year for Roger Clemens, but tonight he was outstanding. Roger Clemens worked 7 2/3 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And really it was the 3rd inning that did the Atlanta Braves in. A play that was not made in the field. It was ruled ahead. A ball hit by Tito Martinez. 2 runs scored that opened the door. The Yankees added another. And then the home run by Jim Leyritz, and that was all they needed. 4-1. 25 times the Yankees have won the world title.
And the opposite occurring here as it was the Atlanta starters who were thought to be the ones that would give the hitters the most problems. Instead, it ended up being the Yankee starters who shut down the Braves hitters.
Well, you know, coming into the postseason, the Yankee starters hadn't been throwing the ball that well. But once they got the postseason, they turned it up a notch. They got the job done.
So they will continue to celebrate as the New York Yankees will receive the World Championship trophy. Take home the MVP. There's George Steinbrenner, principal owner, Joe Torre, the manager, and there's the trophy that is awarded each year to the champions, and that's going on downstairs inside the New York Yankee clubhouse. So they will add another. And there are never enough, because you never get tired of standing right there and holding that trophy.
Well, I had talked to Joe Torre about the fact that, you know, being the manager of the Yankees is not the easiest job because you're managing against all the Yankee history. 25 times you've won now, and Joe Torre has been a part of history the last 3 times they've won it.
He has won all 3 that he's been involved in, and the Yankees have gotten it done. There it is, New York sweeping Atlanta. The final in game 4, 4-1. For all of you around the world, we thank you for joining us for the 1999 World Series. They laid the lines down for the final 2 teams left standing in '99. El Duque came out for New York and was absolutely untouchable in his start. Chipper Jones would deliver 1 big hit in this series, the long ball, but there would be few and far between, and the chance to chop in Atlanta, it just didn't happen very often. Paul O'Neill, big single in the game in Atlanta with Knobloch scoring. Jeter continued his fine play. Rocker, the frustration of a closer who didn't get a chance to do it against the Yankee team that kept getting the big hits. Game 2, Chuck Knobloch delivering again, and Jeter. They jumped out very early in that ball game. The Atlanta Braves never got a chance to get into that one, as it ended up being 7-2, the final score in game 2. Atlanta getting a couple of runs in the 9th inning, but too little and way too late. Ricky Leday, part of the offensive thrust, and along came David Cone, another one of the starters. 7 innings, no runs, just 1 hit off him as they took the 2-0 lead. They came back to New York, and Andy Pettitte, the only starter of the Yankees the Braves got to, as he gave up 5 runs, 10 hits in 3 2/3. But even that was not enough, because the Yankees kept battling back, coming from behind, home runs. Tino Martinez and Chuck Knobloch to tie it, sending it into extra innings. Mariano Rivera would shut down Atlanta one more time, and Remlinger's first pitch to Chad Curtis in the 10th inning, the second home run of the ball game for Curtis, a game winner, 6-5 in 10 in game 3, and a new Yankee hero entered the books, Chad Curtis. That brought it to game 4 and an opportunity for the sweep. Roger Clemens on. Yankee fans wanted it to be the last game of the century. Clemens, the good luck right there on the Babe Ruth monument, and indeed it worked.